Hi, everyone, and welcome to Creatio's series of webinars. Today we have a great topic, creating a low-code company and allowing us to adapt to the digital age through the use of low-code platforms. So we got a few great topics to discuss today, and just a quick agenda for everyone. We'll be giving a quick introduction to myself and the company. But we'll get into the presentation and really talk about how to define what a low-code company is. What are the key pillars? How do we measure a low-code company, as well as create that low-code company? We'll be sharing a few real-world examples of customers that are already leveraging low-code platforms, and we'll open it up to Q&A as well. We can also submit questions through the chat functionality as we move through the presentation. So great agenda, and just by way of introduction, I'm Eric Hale. I'm Director of Sales Enablement at Creatio. I've been with Creatio a little over 3 years now. Have been working with many customers in the financial and banking industries, but have great exposure to other industries as well, and really have been able to witness the power of low code and what our customers and our partners are able to create utilizing low-code technology. So just a little bit about Creatio. We are a global organization. We're headquartered here in Boston, Massachusetts, where I sit, but we do have 5 offices around the globe to support the thousands of customers that have chosen the Creatio platform as their development platform of choice. We do have 650 employees. An interesting fact about our 650 employees, nearly half are focused on the research and development of our platform, keeping our product and our platform modern, meeting modern business requirements across multiple industries. Beyond our direct employees, we also have a robust partner network consisting of over 700 system integrators and consultants that help us reach into 110 countries worldwide. Both the company as well as our platform have been highly recognized by industry analysts, including being named to 5 Gartner Magic Quadrants, including 2 leader categories for Salesforce automation and lead management, as well as 7 Forrester Waves, where we've been named as a strong performer in all categories. So that's just a little bit about myself and Creatio. So let's jump into the topic of the day here. The world depends on software, right? The world around us is continuously changing. Whether that's our current situation with the pandemic. We've had digital transformation efforts for quite some time now. We see that consumer expectations are changing. The way that we communicate back and forth is changing. And reliance on software to support these ongoing changes has become more and more apparent. So this is a great statement. So Watts Humphrey actually made this statement over 20 years ago. Sure, the pandemic has kind of put this in the spotlight, but this has been the norm for quite some time. Businesses across multiple industries have been leveraging software to do several things to help their organizations, whether that's streamline operations, to create better efficiencies in their organization, provide better user and customer experience, so that way they can attract new customers, retain their existing customers, and all of this, leveraging the software ultimately, leads to increased revenue for a lot of these organizations. Let's just take a look at a couple of these in more detail. So in manufacturing, software really enables humans and robots to work safely side by side, right? And what this does is it gives them better flexibility and agility in their production processes. So they're able to generate more product with the help of a combined solution between humans and robots, and it's software that makes that happen. Digital banking and fintechs are on the rise, so online institutions like Chime are actually adding more customers per year than traditional banks. And in this example that you see on the screen right now, China's Ping An Bank have processed 12 million transactions in just half a month after offering online services, what they're calling do it at home functionality. So imagine that, 12 million transactions in just half a month. In e-commerce, e-commerce organizations are utilizing software and technology to provide very personalized experiences to their customers. And what that does is it no longer takes that shotgun approach. When you log into an e-commerce site, you're really getting a personalized offer. In this example, Alibaba reported a 76% increase in conversion rates after switching to progressive web applications. So again, having that uber personalized experience helps e-commerce sites, convert more customers. Healthcare. Oh, healthcare is actually very exciting, right? So in healthcare, we've seen major advancements, whether that's in telehealth or even telesurgery, like we see here on the screen. The first remote surgery actually took place back in 2001, where a doctor in the state of New York performed a laparoscopic surgery on a patient in France. So that dates back, right? We're looking at 20 years ago. Today, surgical robots are becoming increasingly common. And now that we have the advancement of higher bandwidth technologies like 5G, doctors can actually perform remote surgeries as if they were in the operating room. So just amazing, to see how the healthcare industry is leveraging technology. Since the lockdown, attending a sporting event live has been, out of the question. But software applications like Zoom have really enabled us to maintain kind of a virtual experience with our favorite teams. I personally can't wait to get back to live sporting events, but I have been able to keep up with my my Boston Celtics as they play throughout their season. So being able to attend live via a Zoom session is a way to remain engaged, and just a great way that we've taken the situation with the pandemic and turned it into innovative ways to remain engaged. In tourism, tourism is actually very interesting as well. So you have applications like Wander and National Geographic Tour. They can provide a virtual experience of travel destinations. So with the help of VR technology, you can go out and explore destinations like the pyramids of Egypt or Machu Picchu. It's really given the ability to get an experience without having to leave your home. So we all want to get back to having the ability to travel and having the ability to experience things live. But when we can't, technology is really giving us that opportunity to do so. And very similarly, along the same lines, people have been able to attend virtual events. So this example here that you're seeing on the screen is the circular fashion event, and through the use of VR technology, attendees were able to kind of walk the floor of the Grand Palais in Paris. They could walk around, they could speak with the designers, they could check out new fashion, walk the runway, have a seat in the audience. There was even an interesting application here where the attendees could actually play virtual basketball at the event. So really given an experience where we're unable to to do these live and in person. So those are just some great examples of how specific industries are leveraging software and technology to promote more digital experiences. So and that really is a great example of how to succeed in today's business environments. Companies must use technologies not just to support their operations and activities, but also empower every employee with tools to build applications and processes they need, and fast. So really aligning people and technology within the company is going to be tremendously important. leveraging technology going into the digital age. So, as we had mentioned, we want to turn every company into a software company. We looked at that statement, from Watts Humphrey, right? Every company is a software company, but is it enough just to be a software company? So we understand that, there are a lot of roadblocks on the path to transformation. We see that, the statistics on the screen here will talk about having cumbersome tools that don't allow developers to meet deadlines. When they're not meeting their deadlines and the projects are taking too long, projects become abandoned, right? That's a waste of time and a waste of money because they're not able to develop quick enough utilizing traditional development methods. Another key frustration for developers, we'll flip it. It's not so much a frustration for the developers, but frustration for the employees that they're supporting. 60% of employees say that they believe that their ideas for improving things like customer experience, go unheard. Sometimes your best ideas, your innovative ideas, come directly from your frontline employees that are interacting with your customers. Those frontline employees that might be managing operations. Some of your best ideas, come from, those day-to-day frontline workers, and developers. If they're not taking that into consideration, you're not going to be able to innovate, right? There's going to be a lag in that. So we believe, to become a successful software company, you have to become a low-code company. And what we mean by a low-code company, this is a great quote from our CEO, Catherine Kostareva, who has embraced low-code technology, since the inception of Creatio. A couple of statements that Catherine makes here is, it means that business users become the owners of their tech, right? And thanks to the power of low-code platforms, everyone can become a developer. So this is really why low-code is a benefit to organization. It really puts the technology in the hands of business users. So let's explore that a little further. We'll further define, what a low-code company is and what are some of the key pillars that we see as being a successful low-code company. So here is an actual definition of a low-code company. It's a digital-first organization where every employee can become a citizen developer and swiftly create new applications and processes utilizing low-code technology. So when we look at it from that perspective, there are, 5 essential criteria for being a low-code company. First, you have to embrace a digital-first culture. And that really is driven, from the top down. That message has to be from leadership, communicated effectively across the organization, and then implemented. When we take that approach, there are, challenges with, becoming that digital-first culture. Well, we enable everyone to be a developer. So through low-code technology, we can enable citizen development, where you don't necessarily need coding skills or development skills, but when you have an idea of what you want to accomplish in your business unit, you can create custom applications and processes utilizing low-code technology. Again, bringing that technology closer to the business unit. So what happens, when everyone becomes a developer, right? Applications are rolling out in days, not months or years. So we have faster times to deployment. We're aligning our technology processes and teams on a consolidated technology, right? So if we're all developing and utilizing the same technology, it's going to be streamlined and purposeful across your organization. And once that happens, those processes are orchestrated effortlessly. So nothing falls between the cracks. It breaks down those siloed data systems, those siloed teams, and brings them together in a single technology that allows them to collaborate more effectively, to make better data-driven decisions because everybody is utilizing the same technology. So there are three components of a low-code company, and they're really essential to align across the organization. It's people, process, and technology. And we're going to take a little bit deeper dive into each of those sections. So if we look at from a people perspective, employees in a low-code company really could be divided into two categories: citizen developers and pro developers. So when we look at a citizen developer, they're not a full-time developer. They have other responsibilities. They are power users or end users of the platform. That's not their job to create applications, but they can utilize no-code, low-code tools to develop applications for their business units. And these business units, those applications are really focused on individuals and work groups versus corporate-wide applications. That's really where the pro developers come in. It is their full-time job, right? Their job is to develop those more complex applications and processes that do require coding. And they can use, a combination of low code and pro code. So depending upon the application and process complexity, they have the tools and the skill set to do so. And those applications are typically built around departmental or enterprise-wide. So when we look at a low-code company, again, everyone's a developer. It's just those development skills are going to be a little different. So what can low code automate? It's a great question, and it's a pretty simple answer. Low code can automate processes, everything from your customer-facing frontline processes, everything from marketing, sales, service, how you interact with your customers, all the way to your back office applications like human capital management, internal service and support, IT. And everything that goes in between those. You're able to build workflows and business logic for any group from the front office to the back office. You can create user interfaces, utilize low-code integration capabilities, and also build AI and machine learning algorithms to help drive those applications to make better predictions and prescribe better outcomes. So virtually, you can automate any process utilizing low-code technology. So what does that mean for individual groups within your organization? Let's take a look at how low-code powered departments can benefit from the low-code technology. So in your sales department, you're able to manage processes, sales processes of any complexity, whether that's high velocity B2C sales like e-commerce, to long complex B2B sales cycles like in enterprise sales. So we recognize that most organizations will have different processes, and being able to build those processes and modify those processes very easily utilizing low-code technology will help you to swiftly adapt your sales strategy and processes to changing business requirements and changing business environments. It's also going to allow you to build real-time dashboards and reporting, so that way you can make better data-driven decisions within your organization. The power of low-code really comes in the sense that there is out-of-the-box functionality, so you don't have to recreate the wheel, but you can modify and adapt those processes directly for your specific organization. And again, you can create very robust reporting tools like forecasting models and implement artificial intelligence that will help you make better predictions for not just sales, but also customers and product as well. So being able to understand from a sales process everything from how do we generate leads all the way down to revenue recognition. In marketing departments, you can utilize low-code technologies to mine data from disparate sources. So if we look at marketing today, it's really about the data and the profile that you have on your customers. So you want to capture multiple types of data, right? Whether that's basic data, that fundamental understanding of customers. We want to understand their transaction data. How have they interacted with our brand? What are their preferences? We also want to take a look at behavioral data. So things like website behavioral patterns. Where have they gone out on our website? Where have they clicked? How long did they spend there? And then finally, attitudinal data where, we want to understand how they feel about our organization. And this can be collected through, phone calls. It can be collected through emails, chat sessions. There's a lot of data to be mined on customers. So being able to bring all of that data, integrate those systems utilizing open source APIs and bringing them into a platform where we can build a 360-degree profile. And then from there, once we have that profile, we can then segment and target those customers with very personalized engagements, and also have those processes change when that buyer meets certain conditions. So being able to rapidly adapt to changing buying behaviors really enables marketing departments to become more effective. In customer service, customer service is a great example of where low-code really can make your organization shine. We know that organizations can only differentiate so long on product before your competitors either catch up or surpass you. You can't sell on price for very long until your competitors meet your price or come up with a better price. So what really differentiates most organization is the customer experience. So low code is a great way to create better customer engagements across your team. So you're able to create seamless omni-channel experience of customers and help them engage with you on the channel of their choice. So creating that seamless experience, whether they're calling, emailing, chatting, coming in through social networks, ensuring that there is a consistent experience across those channels. So once you've done that, you can also do things like create a better experience by having a rapid response rate, right? Through low code, we can develop chatbots, right, to reduce response times. We can also leverage machine learning algorithms to predict service requests even before they happen, right? So having that understanding of your customers is going to enable you to create those better experiences for your customers. In operations, right, we want to make our operations as efficient as possible, and the way to do that is to create best-in-class processes, automating repetitive and manual tasks across our operations. So we can leverage, several different things. We can design processes and build applications that will automate any process throughout your organization. We have an example here of supply chain. We know that, say in manufacturing, there are a lot of different components to even just making a quote for a customer. So how do we streamline that process? How do we digitize that process? Low code enables you to build that very quickly, efficiently, and then also adapt that process to changing conditions within your organization. We can also build, machine learning models to predict things like customer demand for product, right? So how do we maintain our inventories? Well, let's utilize low code to build machine learning models. We can apply those predictive analytics to understand, sales drivers and customer behavior. And again, you're doing this with visual design tools. It's not something that's going to require coding. So anytime that there's a change, it's a matter of utilizing those same tools to make quick and efficient adjustments to your processes. And then finally, from an IT department's perspective, we talked a little bit about the difference between citizen development and pro development, right? Really where low code can help an IT department is to help alleviate some of that strain that they have, right? We know that business demand is growing, right? Business demands applications to help them grow, help them better serve their customers, create better experiences. And as they have those requirements, that goes into an IT department's backlog of things that need to be developed. Those backlogs are growing. The deliverables that they're able to produce are shrinking. And that's really where enabling citizen development can help alleviate that strain. So again, utilizing citizen development for those departmental or individual use cases, allowing the IT team to focus on those more complex apps and processes that require additional coding. So that's really where low code can come in and help ease that strain on IT departments. Excellent. So now, let's have a look at the processes, and why it's important to have agile processes. So we know that it's not the strongest of the species that always survives, right? It's the one that is most adaptable to change. And low-code companies, fit that mold very, very well, right? They can adapt to changes in their business environments fast, thanks to the flexible and agile processes that you get out of a low-code platform. So as end users become closer to their tech solutions, they can co-create amazing things, utilizing their domain knowledge, their tribal knowledge, and they can share those outcomes immediately with other teams. So really promoting more and more citizen development. Success breeds success. When you leverage low-code technology and you're successful, share those practices across your teams, and then the other teams will start to leverage, processes as well through low-code. So really, where processes come into play, and what's most important within the ability to build these processes is collaboration. It's freedom, right? So we're not relying on developer or IT resources. We're able to do this at the business analyst level, and really understanding the ability to create these applications. And the power of low-code solutions are really key to that business agility. So we're able to provide faster solutions, faster iterations, and faster feedback, with streamlined processes across organizations. So let's talk a little bit about the technology, right, of a low-code platform. So low-code development platforms use visual interfaces with simple logic, drag and drop features instead of extensive coding languages. We talked about the ability to visually design applications and processes without understanding any proprietary languages, having an idea how to program and code. We can literally just drag and drop features instead of coding. We also, when we look at low-code platforms, they provide a lot of out-of-the-box functionality that can be repurposed, right? And this is really going to eliminate the need to build core modules for our applications from scratch, right? Don't reinvent the wheel every time you need to create a new application. You can leverage out-of-the-box functionality and modify that to meet specific business requirements. So having an in-depth process and application library is very important within a low-code platform. The ability for cross-platform compatibility really will allow users to build applications that can also run on all core platforms and devices, right? We know that in a digital-first mentality, we have to be able to support multiple browsers. We have to be able to support multiple devices. So having that platform and the ability to create, regardless of operating system or device, is ultimately important. We need to make sure that low-code platforms have this ability if we're going to maintain that digital-first approach. So applications developed using low-code, can also help to monitor workflows and processes to keep track of their effectiveness, right? when we build an application, we want to iterate on that application. We want to understand the workflows. Where are there any bottlenecks? What's working? What's not working? Are there any roadblocks in these processes? We want to understand the effectiveness. And if there is a roadblock or a bottleneck, we want to be able to change that very, very quickly. And it's not only within the low-code platform, but you can also track the performance of other applications. It's really useful for analysis purposes across your organization. When you bring that data into a low-code platform, you're able to run that analysis and ensure that your operations are running smoothly. We look at it from an application lifecycle management perspective. So low-code tools really allow you to simplify and streamline, the stages in a software development lifecycle. So everything from, debugging and testing all the way to deploying that application in a live environment. So what can a low-code platform address from a technology perspective? We address the following challenges that you see on the screen here, right? Applications are complex, right? They're written in different languages. You may have legacy applications. You may have point solutions, and now you're managing multiple technologies across your organization. So low-code addresses that challenge by taking that complexity out of your application structure, utilizing a common platform across your organization. When we take that complexity out, it allows us to utilize citizen developers. So we see a shortage of skilled developers in the marketplace. So that's a big reason why IT is unable to keep up with the business demands. Sometimes it can be a shortage of personnel. It can be a shortage of budget as well. So how do we address that? Well, we address that with low code by enabling citizen development across the organization. So that also leads to reducing those growing IT backlogs. So all those projects that are sitting in the backlog can be offloaded to citizen development. And then finally, it helps to address misalignment between your business and your IT teams. We all know that, if we were looking at organizations 10 years ago, you had business side of the house and you had IT side of the house, and they don't necessarily speak the same language. Business would come up with an idea, send it to IT for them to figure out how to make it happen. And there was a breakdown in communication a lot of times between, those organizations. Well, in a modern world, in a digital world, we have to make sure that we bridge the gap between business and IT. And that's really where low code can help do that. Business can help in the design and the thought process behind applications along with IT. The business side will have, a technical acumen, and, that brings the IT side, closer to the business side because they understand what they're trying to accomplish. So it enhances their business acumen. And we bridge that gap between those two organizations. So that's really how low code can address challenges within organizations. So how does that benefit? What are the benefits of becoming a low-code company? And we looked at it again from people, process, and technology. So from a people perspective, we can become more adaptable and more accountable. Like I said, when you have a business idea, we understand that we can develop that along with the help of IT. We need to make sure that there's governance in place. We don't want to turn it into the wild, wild west, but this allows us to become more adaptable and more accountable. People become more digital savvy, right? When they're involved in the process, now we understand technology. And as I had mentioned, some of your best ideas are coming from your frontline workers. So people become more innovative. They're inspired. They're inspired to create applications that are going to make a difference in the way that they operate and the way that they interact with customers. and they become highly productive. From a process standpoint, we can see where the ability to design and modify processes very quickly utilizing low-code tools is an efficient, agile way to become more adaptable to changing business models. So that's the one thing that we know about business. It's the only constant, it's change. So having the ability to rapidly adapt to that change is really a benefit of low code. So we can, once those processes are built and put into place, everything becomes orchestrated across the opportunity. Again, we break down those silos between people, data, application. Everything becomes aligned across the entire organization on a single low-code platform. And from a technology perspective, low-code software is, again, responsive and fast. So the ability to quickly detect any bottlenecks or road blocks within the process and be able to adapt to those very quickly is important within a low-code platform. It makes sure that all of your applications are up to date. The software is also diverse. As we saw, you can manage multiple processes across your organization. It's not just a point solution. It can address multiple needs across your organization. It can be deployed at lower costs. Again, if you were to take a look at Glassdoor and go out and have to hire an administrator to manage your application, that can be very expensive. Sometimes you may need more than one administrator. So we were able to deploy at lower cost utilizing low code. We're able to leverage our internal teams. They're sufficient enough to manage the platform going forward. And then finally, it's modern, so therefore it can be very integrated into other applications throughout your organization. We know that there's going to always be disparate systems, whether those are financial systems, HR systems, but we need to integrate into those very easily. So utilizing low code to develop custom integrations or out of the box integrations and connectors, we can leverage low code to make that happen across the organization. So now that we understand the benefits, of low code to an organization, how do you go about creating a low code company? And again, that is our vision at Creatio. We really want to create, low code companies where everyone is a software provider and everybody in that company is a developer. So how do we create that? So here's just a couple of tips and recommendations to help turn your business into a low-code company. Number one is we need to embrace the everyone a developer concept. I know it's scary, and I know that developers and IT, are scared to hear that, right? Everyone becomes a developer, but really what that can do is it can help reduce the strain on your IT departments. Of course, we'll talk about that in just a second. We don't want things to turn into the wild, wild west where everybody just has, creating applications. There's shadow IT across your organization. Really, low code brings that all into a single technology that you can also manage pretty efficiently as well. So one, we have to embrace the everyone a developer concept. We also want to incorporate the tools to make that happen, right? So we have to take low-code technology into our software strategy. So if we want everyone to be a developer, we have to enable them with the tools to do so. Number three, as I had mentioned, create governance policies. As we have people developing on the platform, we want to make sure that we're setting up, because ultimately, IT is going to be responsible, for these applications. So have a very robust governance policy in place. So as those applications are developed, we want approvals. We want to ensure that it's going to be a fit for the overall company strategy. And when we have that in place, it does eliminate that shadow IT and that wild west mentality that'll be out there. But at the same time, we don't want those governance policies to impede, the creativeness of the business side. So we have to create delivery policies. So if citizen developers create applications and it goes into the approval process, and that approval process takes too long, it takes too, it's too cumbersome to manage, it just is going to do away with that innovative spirit, right? So we want to ensure that we have a clear delivery policy in mind as well. Number 5, right? So when we think about low-code companies, we really want to foster an environment of creativity. We want to foster an environment where people want to learn the technology, want to understand it, and want to utilize it to meet their own business requirements. So we recommend creating a center of excellence that will help educate your citizen developers and nurture other citizen developers. So like I had mentioned, success breeds success. So if a specific group within your organization creates a process that was quickly deployed and they were able to recognize some business benefits immediately, that's going to help create other citizen developers within your organization. They'll be able to leverage the same tools and hopefully get the same results. So we want to nurture that, but then we also want to mentor those citizen developers as well, right? So we want to create more and more citizen developers that will help us, create those applications and processes across the organization. We want to listen to their feedback. Again, it's a very collaborative mentality that we need to take in a low-code company, and that's really what's going to bring everybody together. Everything from that top-down strategy to those developers and end users, utilizing the platform to make their own technology. Excellent. So let's have a look at a couple of real-world examples of companies that are leveraging a low-code platform. So the first I'd like to talk about is End Credit Union. End Credit Union is one of the largest credit unions in the United States. They have over 400,000 members and over $6 billion in assets under management. So End Credit Union is really focused on 2 key things. They are focused on creating a tremendous member experience, and also focused on growing their organization within the markets that they serve. So they're located in the beautiful state of Colorado here in the U.S. And they want to expand their business across that market. So what started out as a specific challenge that End Credit Union was having, indirect member acquisition. When we think about indirect members, they are, let's say, individuals that go out and get an automobile loan within the state of Colorado. Now that automobile loan may be coming from End Credit Union. And that individual, because they have their auto loan through End Credit Union, that makes them a full-fledged member of the credit union. However, that specific customer may only know that they have auto loan. They may not know that they qualify for other products that End has to offer: deposit accounts, credit cards, home loans, student loans, business loans. They're a full-fledged credit union. So they really wanted to be able to capture these indirect members as they came in and create a process that educated them on everything that was available within the credit union. So therefore, garner more share of wallet from the customer, right? What if we can get their deposit account here at End? What if we can get their home loan here at End? So they had very aspirational goal to capture that very quickly. So they were looking for technology that would be able to develop and integrate with their existing systems very quickly. So they chose Creatio, and we were able to get their indirect member acquisition application up and running within just 3 months. So they were able to develop, integrate, and get a working system up and running in just 3 months, utilizing the power of low code. Once they recognized this, they decided to say, well, the power of low code will help us address our entire member engagement strategy across the credit union. So what started as a simple use case for indirect member acquisition grew to contact center management, managing their sales processes. So, equipping all of their frontline employees, from their branch consultants, all the way to their sales reps, are now utilizing the Creatio platform to manage those engagements. So now they are up over 900 users. So what started as a very small use case grew because they recognized the power of low code. The next example I'd like to give is Ivy Ventures. And Ivy Ventures is a US-based healthcare solutions company. They partner with hospitals and health systems to help them better understand patient experience that is driving trends within their industry. So Ivy applies various approaches to help their clients distinguish themselves from their competition. The company uses its market knowledge to kind of craft personalized solutions that are relational, they're data-driven, actionable, and measurable. So when they look at their sales cycle and order management processes, Ivy Ventures recognized that these were very complex. So to support these operations and manage them effectively, Ivy Ventures required a tailor-made software. They didn't need a point solution, but they were having trouble finding an application that perfectly fit from a technology perspective, across their organization. So after having tried several solutions that couldn't meet their needs for scalability, operational transparency, and process automation, they came across Creatio, and throughout our engagement, again, similar to Ent, realized that a low-code platform is what they've been searching for. So once we were, working together, so with the help of Creatio, Ivy Ventures was able to take its operations and customer relationships to the next level. To give an example, their customers, as they're providing, their tools to them, let's say, for an example, hospitals. They work with many hospitals, and typically hospitals might be able to convert about 50% of their inquiries to completed procedures. So with Ivy's unique approach that is fueled by the solutions that they built with the Creatio platform, their hospitals, their customers are now able to convert almost 95% of inquiries into completed procedures. So, not only did it help Ivy, but because they were able to put these solutions in place for their customers are recognizing the benefits of the platform. And as we can see from the timeline here, they've again been able to iterate, everything from first becoming a customer in 2015, and iterate on the platform every milestone that you see here on the timeline. So they're reversioning, creating further improvements, and they're doing this with minimal resources to make that happen across Ivy Ventures, because of its low code functionality. Creatio is an ideal solution for Ivy Ventures. The last use case that I wanted to just kind of run over briefly is Israeli Roads. Israeli Roads is supported by the Israeli government. The company took over the mission to upgrade the company's road infrastructure and help to build a wider transportation network. So to lead such a complex project successfully, Israeli Roads required a sophisticated software solution that would serve as a consolidated project-related data environment, and also provide collaborative tools so that multiple stakeholders could help manage the project long-term, We knew that this was going to be, a multi-stage operation, and they needed tools to collaborate. So, Israeli National Roads Company aimed at achieving operational transparency and also streamlining process management, and chose Creatio's low-code platform for our abilities to do just that, right? Manage their processes and also leverage our out-of-the-box CRM capability. And this, combination of our systems ready-to-go tools and also the low-code capabilities allowing users to create custom solutions in a matter of minutes really made Creatio the perfect fit for Israel National Roads. So utilizing a single platform for managing their infrastructure projects simplified their process immensely, and also helped to bring visibility to all of the development stages as they were working through their project. So just another great example of a company leveraging the capabilities of the Creatio low-code platform. So, and that really is our vision at Creatio, right? We create a world where we can automate any business idea in minutes. And we do that through our powerful, low-code platform, right? So our key differentiators at Creatio are low-code, development capabilities that make everyone a developer. You don't necessarily need to know a special language or have any coding skills. We can do that utilizing low-code technology. In addition to low-code capabilities, we have our BPM engine that is going to, again, align your people, your processes, your applications, your data across your organization, reducing silos and streamlining your processes throughout your application. And finally, utilizing the low-code platform as well as the business process management engine, we've created a full-fledged, comprehensive, unified CRM platform that will help you align marketing, sales, and service across your organization. So it really is this unique combination that really gives Creatio the power to meet business requirements across multiple industries. So just to kind of give you a quick snapshot of the Creatio platform, we can see at the foundation is our Studio Creatio, and that is our low-code development tools where you don't need to be a developer or a coder. This is where we enable the citizen development utilizing the visual tools that you see on the screen, where we can create processes and applications very rapidly. And on top of that, we see those applications that we've built utilizing our business process management engine and low-code capabilities. So sales, marketing, and service automation that have been highly recognized, by the way, by key industry analysts. And the fourth box that you're seeing there is our Creatio Marketplace. So when we want to extend the core functionality of Creatio into other aspects of a company's business, we want to leverage the Creatio Marketplace, where we have over 300 out-of-the-box applications, templates, and pre-built processes that will enable our users to extend that functionality into third-party applications. And that ends our presentation for today. I hope that everyone was able to gain some visibility on how to create a low-code company and kind of what those pillars are. So we're going to open it up for a brief question and answer session here. I think we went a little long. I was hoping to give at least 10 minutes, but we'll try our best to answer a few questions here. And if we don't get to your question, our team will definitely follow up with you offline after the webinar. So we have a question, and the question is, how do we build a digital-first culture? And it's a great question because that was one of the key pillars that we had mentioned, right? How do you have to have a digital-first strategy. So if we're trying to build a digital-first culture, we have to understand that culture starts from the top, right? And it rolls down throughout the organization. So really, executive leadership must have a clear mission and understanding of what a digital strategy is. And once they have that clear vision, they need to be able to communicate that effectively downstream, right? So stating, hey, this is what the organization is trying to achieve. Here's the expectations that we have of you as our team members. And when employees understand what the organization's ultimate goals are, understand the tools at their disposal, there's going to be a higher level of adoption and a higher level of collaboration that is going to breed success in ways that you never thought possible. So from there, once we have that that top-down messaging, it's a matter of again, communicating that to the masses, but also we also have to educate as well. We have to maintain a continuous education model where we're starting to understand the tools, we're understanding how to leverage them and create better innovations across the organization. So really, again, everything starts at the top with a vision, is communicated effectively, and then educating the masses on that particular strategy. I would say that that is how we view building a digital first culture. Excellent. So the next question is, how do you ensure that low-code platforms are going to be a success within the the organization? Another great question, because as with any new technology, we need to ensure that it's going to be adopted, right? One of the top 3 reasons that any initiative fails is user adoption. So we want to ensure that the platform is going to be a success. So when we look at, how do we accomplish that? Again, everything comes back to, education, right? So first, again, understanding that we have a vision, we have a strategy. Now, let's educate. So we have to understand, how to leverage low code. So we mentioned through the presentation creating a center of excellence, right? So this center really should be made up of representatives from both IT as well as the wider organization, so that way they can collaborate on several things, right? So again, how do we administer these tools? How do we govern them? How do we utilize the tools, the operations? How to educate people to become citizen developers? How do we gain support of those applications? So if I'm running into an issue, who do I go to? Do we establish subject matter experts that can manage questions or help with design? Make sure that you have a support structure in place as well. And then once you've kind of mastered that process, right? Once you've mastered, the strategy, the administration, governance, support, you need to start nurturing that throughout the organization. And again, taking success and making it repeatable in other areas of your business. And this will ensure that, more and more people are adopting the low-code platform and utilizing it for what it's designed for. So that's really how we look at, ensuring that the platform is going to be a success within the organization. And it has to be, again, communicated effectively. This is our strategy. This is our process. This is what our vision is. And when we get everybody marching to the same drum beat, that's when it's going to be a success. So we really need to have, a leadership organization that is going to be responsive as well. So it's not just a one and done. We come up with the strategy and turn it over. It's something that needs to be responsive. It needs to be iterative. It needs to be looked at on an ongoing basis. So hopefully that that gives you an idea of how to make that a success. I know we do have a couple of more questions, but we are at the top of the hour. And as I had mentioned, we'll do our best to get back to you with answers to your other questions. Just a couple of things I wanted to mention before wrapping up. Please join us for our low-code talks. This is really where you can get more information about building a low-code company. We have our QR code here in the left-hand corner that you can scan, or you could subscribe on any of the channels that you see here below. So I wanted to thank you very much for joining us today, and I also would like you to or encourage you to watch more of Creatio's digital events. You can subscribe to our YouTube channel, youtube.com/c/Creatio, as you see here on the screen. So thank you again, everyone, and have a wonderful day.